I was sent these Pioneer dehumidifier blocks to give my honest opinion on them. So let's take them out of the box, check them out, so I can do that. So I would definitely recommend reading the manual. There's a lot of good information in here about how to use this block. Basically, this is meant to dehumidify your gun case or wherever you're storing your guns, which is something you really want to do because if you have moisture around your guns, of course, that promotes rust, and then you start having problems with your gun. So I always keep dehumidifier packets in my gun safe, and I usually throw some in my guns if I'm going to go on a trip for more than a day or so. Sometimes in packaging, these might show up wet when you get them because in the environment that it was shipped from. But this one is showing it's dry already, so I don't have to stick it in the microwave to dry it out. And again, these are reusable. So if it absorbs enough moisture that it's getting to its capacity, then this little marker over here will turn blue to show that it's now wet. But again, it's white right now to show that it's still dry. So it has dehumidifying capacity right now to do what it needs to do. I have a large gun case, so 2 blocks would be needed for a large gun case. I think mine holds 30 or so guns. So 2 of these would be recommended for a gun case that size. But if you're gonna have a smaller gun case or you wanna put this in a case that you can carry, then you could just take one of these stones and put it in there. All right, so I am preparing it for the microwave. It says to put it in the microwave and run it on defrost for about 9 minutes. Again, all of that information is here in the manual. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And as you can see here, this is the outside lining that I was talking about. This is really easy to take off. You just kind of push the stone out, and then to put it back in, you just push the stone in, and you see that the actual indicator on the side is actually part of the outside lining. And it looks like it's got some holes there that will detect the moisture in the stone. And then this is the stone, and when you take it out, almost feels kind of like a sharpening stone for a blade. And you can feel that it is definitely porous, not heavy at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it. All right, so I got the stone in the microwave. It is on a defrost mode, and I'm gonna run it for the full 9 minutes. It also says don't touch it, of course, when it first stops because it's gonna be hot. So you need to let it cool for at least 5 minutes and then still be very careful when checking the temperature of that stone. But once it's cooled down, then it's ready to have the casing put back on it and put into your gun case. I did open up the second stone that they sent me. I did get 2, which is recommended for a larger gun case like I have. And what do you know? This one actually shows wet. So this one was stored somewhere where they did have the humidity, or it's been in storage for a little longer, but now we can actually try out the microwave method on this one. So even though I'm trying out the microwave method on this stone here that was showing dry, I wanted to make sure it was completely dehumidified so I could put it in the gun safe. But since this one actually shows wet, we can do a test on this one to make sure it says, like in the manual, after 4 hours, it does turn back to dry and does what it's supposed to do. So I'm gonna now put this one in the microwave. All right, so I got both blocks out of the microwave and put back into their protective sleeves. As you can see, this one still says dry and this one still says wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and let these sit for about 4 hours like it said to do and make sure that they both turn to white saying dry. All right, so it's been about 4 hours and the blocks have definitely cooled off. I've got them back in their sleeves, and as you can see, they're both showing white and dry. This one has a slight bluish tinge more than this one does. And this one was the one that was completely wet when I took it out of the box. So maybe the first time it turns wet, the white doesn't go all the way back to perfectly white, but it's definitely obviously white. So now it's time to put it in the gun case. So the gun case isn't cleaned up. I've moved some things around, but basically, as you can see here, I have always thrown just all of the silica gel that I've gotten from miscellaneous things, and I've bought some packets that you throw in your gun safe that's supposed to keep it dry. But there's tons of them in there, and I always just kind of keep throwing them in, but most of those probably need to get just thrown away. But now I'm gonna have these, so I'm probably just gonna keep these down on the bottom shelf and check them, you know, every couple weeks or so, see if they're needing to be dried out or not. But that should definitely help keep this gun safe dry. Again, you really need a dehumidified area for ammunition and for your weapons. You don't want rust building up on ammo or on your guns. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're watching the video and you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you would do so, that really helps me out. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all take care.